And it was just so shocking. We had just sent Matt off to camp for 12 days to get these service hours, and he was at a camp that was near our home, but they took a trip this particular day to Lake Michigan to go swimming, and it was a red flag, rip current warning day, and yet they still went in the water. On July 27th, 2013, John and I were both at home getting ready to go to a party that evening, and we received a phone call, and it was a phone call from the camp that our son was attending. And this was the phone call that no parent ever wants to receive. And we were told that there was a water accident with our son and to rush to the hospital. And so we were out of the house within 2 minutes. Our son was airlifted to another hospital where we gathered with our family and a few close friends. And that evening, our son Matt, who was 15 years old, he was pronounced dead from drowning.
He had those warm, inviting eyes that just drew people to him. And because of his size, he was 6'4", 243. I just took him for his football physical the week before he passed. And he was a gentle giant. Matt was always our conscience. He was always my conscience. He'd go, "Dad, is that the way to talk about somebody?" I go, "Matt, you're absolutely right. That's he says, "You always tell me, tell yourself, Dad." This forever changed our lives. Our home used to be full of noise. Matt was our only son. He was a good person. He always put others first. He always watched out for somebody who needed a little help. That is what is energizing us to become involved, so that no other parent has to go through the devastation, the life-shattering event of having their child drowned needlessly. At Matt's wake, there was numerous, there were fellow students, teachers, friends of the family, people in the neighborhood. The one student approached me, and he was very tearful. He said, "Mr. Coker, I got to share this story with you, that what kind of son Matt was." He said that with the basketball team, the list was posted, and everybody who made it was, "All right, I made it. I did not make it." He says, I felt bad that I did not make the team." He goes, "I was crying," and he said, "I don't know if kids were laughing at me, but Matt was the only kid who came up to me. He put his arm around my shoulder and said, 'Hey, you're a good guy. Work on your game. You'll make it next year.'" And he says, Matt didn't know me. I didn't have any classes with him. He just saw me at tryouts, and he said it was the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me.
The only thing that would keep me going is to try and help others and raise awareness about water safety and try to save lives. So I knew right away that I was going to become involved in that. My friend came over, my neighbor Ruth, and we were talking about what had happened and how it was just so senseless, and that if Matt had known about red flags and rip currents, that this wouldn't have happened, and that most people don't understand about the danger of water, that people go into the lakes and the oceans to have a good time, not knowing how very dangerous they are. So I remember her standing right inside the doorway at my home, and us saying that we were going to work very hard to get the word out about the dangers of the water, that we were going to make a commitment to help others and prevent senseless drownings. My promise is to promote water safety, education, and to save lives.